Energy medicine practitioner while working as an oncology nurse at a Seattle area hospital. My skill in moving energy combined with my medical background have been a catalyst for change in many people's lives. I hope the next hour will be transformative for you as well. Good morning, and welcome to the Marie Manuchehri Show. We are live here, and I think it might rain in Seattle.
It's saying a little bit
Tiny?
of a chance. It's hard to say, but
Yeah.
we could use some.
We could.
Let's be honest.
I did have the sprinkler on for a little bit. My hydrangeas were looking very sad and tired, so I, sprinkled them. But now we've got clouds, so who knows? We might get some rain. But yeah, it's been gorgeous here in Seattle. Just stunning. You even have a tan, I noticed.
Yeah, I've been spending so much time at the Lake Washington, and one of my friends has a backyard pool, and I was actually there yesterday, and a lot of fun, and of course being outdoors, having fun with outdoor recreation, hiking, disc golf, just really love the outdoors.
Wow, well, we're so happy to have you, Nathan, this morning. Benny's out and about doing something different, and Nathan's in the studio with us today. So I'm happy to have you. One of my favorite things to have happen, feeling one's emotions is such a complex and weird and unfamiliar thing. Most human beings have no idea what they're feeling throughout the entire day. The mind will create emotions from thoughts that we overthink. Then the mind will create this emotion that we think is authentic, but it's not. And when you get to an authentic feeling, which sometimes can take a while, even me, a professional who teaches people how to be in their emotions and works on my own emotions, it can take me a while sometimes to get into my authentic emotions. And last night, I had a moment where I got into some emotions that I've been very confused about for weeks. And it's just crazy how much clarity you get and more importantly, how free you feel. Even if you don't like the emotion, even if you now have to do a bunch of stuff regarding it, or you have the option not to, of course, you can just, go, oh, well, I feel this way. Oh, well. But there's just this incredible freeing moment that happens when you feel your own emotions. So as we've talked about on all of the shows for, multiple years, it's so imperative to get out of your head, rest in the lower half of your body, and get curious about what you're feeling. Even if it doesn't happen right away, if you spend time there every day, even just once a day, you're going to eventually get there. And then you're going to free a lot of energy that can be used for your magnificence, to make your life better, to create more happiness, more wealth, more love, better health in your body. Imagine all that repressed energy just stewing in your body, and it doesn't know what to do because you don't know where it is or that it even exists. And then you have this awakening, because that's an awakening whenever you can feel your emotions. So anyway, I thought I'd start the show with that.
Very good. Well, let's start our show with our callers if we're ready.
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
right
we
ahead.
have Michelle calling over from New York on the east side. Welcome to the west side, Michelle. You're live on the Marie Manuchehri Show.
Hi, Marie.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fabulous, honestly, but I'm sorry you're only feeling okay. What can I do for you?
Yeah, so I've called in before. You've helped me with many things, and I've been working on a lot of other things that you mentioned for me to do as well. But I have hit a little bit of a roadblock. It has to do with I've had some reproductive endo symptoms for most of my life, and they've gotten considerably worse. In the last couple of months, I went on a medication that was supposed to help. I ended up it not. That's a very light way of putting it. It did not help, made things worse, got off of it. I started exploring different options, really diving into research around endometriosis.
Right.
Because that's sort of what they think I have.
Right.
Now, as of yesterday, I found out I have a 3-inch ovarian cyst.
And interesting.
They mentioned surgery yesterday.
Well, because they don't want it to. They don't want it to abrupt, because if it abrupts, then it can create problems in your reproductive organs. But here's the thing. We'll talk about the surgery in just a second. But women, regardless of what the circumstances are in terms of a disease that appears in their lower reproductive area, it's all about repressed anger. So you have a lot of yeah, okay.
I knew you were going to. So I already see the cell. It's actually like visually I can see red and blue.
Good. I'm so proud of you. So So you need to start having some temper tantrums. I mean, I wish I could lend out my two oldest grandchildren. They're 4 and 2, and 4 and 2. I mean, they have temper tantrums that are really intense. And luckily, thankfully, I raised my children well. Like nobody in our families, I think I spanked one of my kids once, but nobody has been spanked. I let them have temper tantrums. So you either need to go find a toddler and go hang out with them and, start mimicking their behavior, or you just need to lay down on the floor. You don't have to be angry to do this. The anger will naturally start to come forward. You need to kick and scream and yell. And
I know why I'm angry.
Okay,
I know why too.
But you need to express it. That's great that you know it, but if you're not moving the energy, because you're in a physical form, a lot of women feel uncomfortable being angry, and they repress their energy. And so, a man or a woman who feels uncomfortable expressing their anger needs to find a safe haven where they can express it. So you go in a room, shut the door, lay down on the floor, kick and scream for like 5 minutes, about 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
And then
that sounds appealing to me.
Okay, good. That's great. Congratulations. That's excellent. I'm very happy for you. And then I would get a second opinion, but this is probably something that needs to. Hopefully they don't want to take out the ovary, right?
Well, yeah, I was wondering if maybe there's a doctor here or a doctor elsewhere out of state, because there are specialists that I've been researching specifically for endo, because if they're going to want to take an over,
yeah, that's a really big deal. So if you do this exercise, it could literally shrink that cyst, literally, because it's being held in your body based on repressed anger, and it's so deep inside the cavity. The ovaries are so deep inside the body. That's why things like ovarian problems aren't diagnosed very quickly, because it's just so deep in the body we don't feel it. I don't know of an actual, I don't know of the right doctor to refer you to. I'm so sorry. I trust you to do great research. You're really good at it, and you'll discover the perfect person. But let's start doing these exercises right away, because we could get it to shrink, that potentially they could do other things, or they'll go, oh, it's getting smaller. Wait a minute. This is good. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I'm assuming I might have a leak there then in my
I direct you do in the second. You're right, but everything else you're taking energy. Your first, your third, which is excellent. Your fourth, your sixth, and your seventh chakras are all taking
doing
energy.
A lot of work.
Yeah, good job.
Brain.
And that's why you're ready for this. You're ready to let go of the anger and not let it follow you around and slow down your energy. Okay.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks for your call, Michelle. And now we're going to head over to Alex, who is in Orlando, Florida.
Ooh.
Welcome to the show, Alex. You're live with Marie on the Marie Manuchehri Show.
Hi.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
Good, and you?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you. What can I do for you?
Okay, so I've noticed this pattern that I have, that if something triggers my fear, I can get caught like in a loop for about a month in that fear.
Yeah, but I'm so proud of you for having that awareness, right? So proud of it. I'm so proud of you. Okay, yes.
And then I'll live like 3 months and I'm fine, and then the trigger happens again, and I've noticed this happens since my 20s. I realized it.
Great.
And I just want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. So here's what you need to do. First of all, that's what consciousness is. When you can sense that something's off and you can even name it like you did so eloquently, that's consciousness. Because we can't do anything about it if we're not conscious of it, right? Just like I've known that I've been, that I have this emotion trapped in my body or irritating me in some way, but I had no idea what it was about, like zero, until last night, which is really, really freeing. Really, really freeing. So and your job every time it comes up is to be loving and kind to yourself. Like, Alex, honey, I love you. You're an amazing woman. I'm so proud of you. You need to nurture yourself.
Okay.
Every time that happens, and then you won't go into that sympathetic aspect of your autonomic system and move into fight or flight that then you have to work on for like a month to get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right. Because the situation is gone. Like it's done. Like the circumstance is not repeating itself, but you're getting triggered and you think it's going to happen. And so you get scared and then you go, oh, it's not happening. Okay, I can let go now. So if you nurture yourself and be very loving, like I'm so proud of you in this moment. I love you so much, honey bunch. I mean, really say those things to yourself, literally.
Okay.
And I love you. And you're on the right track. You're doing a great job. I just love you so much, honey. Just talk to yourself like that, and then it'll completely go away.
Okay.
Okay?
Good. Yes.
All right. Thank you for calling in, and have a gorgeous, gorgeous day in Florida.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for your call, Alex. And I just realized I never gave out the phone numbers, even though pretty much everybody knows and we fill them all up. But just in case this is your first time listening to the Marie Manuchehri Show, our phone number call in is 877-825-8828. Again, 877-825-8828. So many callers ahead. Let's just go ahead and move over to Michelle, who's calling over from Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome to the show, Michelle. You're live on the Marie Manuchehri Show.
Thank you, Nathan. Hi, Marie.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Not bad.
Okay.
It's been,
you kind of sound like all the callers so far this morning, like, you know? Yeah, go ahead.
Funny.
That cloudy weather must be a sign or something.
Go ahead.
My energy feels pretty elevated.
Good.
And I've been working on it for a decent number of months now.
Good.
Just on self-love and getting out of my head so much, trying to have a little bit more fun. But
and I would agree with you. I would agree with you. Your root chakra is taking in energy, your heart chakra, your third eye, your seventh. So, which is wonderful. Yay. Congratulations. You just have a tiny leak in the second, which almost everyone does. And I think it's just still kind of the pandemic irritation. What do I do? Do I do something? Do I wear a mask now? Is that person okay? Oh, that person coughed. Do I need a shot? Do I need another shot? You know, should I ever get a shot? Like all of these things that people are still thinking and trying to decide. Yeah. At least that's my example.
Yes. And I probably, pay a little too much attention to the news. But but the reason I'm calling today is really I would like your insight and higher soul's perspective around my marriage.
Ah, interesting. How long have you guys been married?
Since we met when we were basically children. We've been together. We've been married since 2005.
Okay, 2000. But you've known each other forever and ever and ever. Do you think sometimes you get bored?
1999.
Do you think that you sometimes get bored?
Probably, and I think that I just tend to distract myself with work and all the things, and I don't even really, I just sort of put my head down and keep marching forward.
Okay, because, you can leave this marriage if you want to, but I think it's a good marriage. I mean, I think you have a lot of autonomy. I think you can do what you want. I think that you're respected in this marriage. You can disagree with anything I say. Now, if you're not in love with your husband, that's a whole nother story.
Oh,
right.
Marie, I want this to work so badly.
Oh, good, great.
But it hasn't. Not really my choice, but we've been, living apart for the summer, and so what I would really like to know is where is my husband coming from? What's really the root cause under this, and what can we do to just continue to love and support each other?
Does he want to maintain the marriage?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
we've decided that we're going to really take a break from talking about our relationship,
which
and,
I think is a really good idea. So here's what I think happened. Although I didn't know that he was contemplating leaving. Just so you know, I didn't know that when I read your energy. I'm just like this is a good marriage. I like it. There's because you kind of harp on him a little bit to change. Would you agree that's true?
Yes, and I'm completely ready to release that.
Yeah, you have to stop because he doesn't want to change. He likes the way he is. He's very supportive of you from my perception, from the way I'm looking at it, but he doesn't want to investigate the things that you want to investigate. He doesn't want to learn the things that you want to learn. Now, if that bothers you in a relationship, then you're going to have to go not be with him. But I think you can be in this relationship, let him be his own unique person, let you guys love each other and have fun. But don't expect him to keep growing like you do because he's not interested in it.
Yeah. You've actually said that to me before.
I have. Okay, so why are we having this conversation again? You have to stop trying to fix him. There's nothing broken. He's happy the way he is, and I don't blame him. He's tired of being challenged. He's tired of being not enough.
Yeah, I get that. I think that it took me a long time to realize that was the dynamic that I was enforcing.
Okay. And if for some reason this relationship isn't enough for you because you need more of someone on the same page with you, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, I think this is a good marriage. And I don't say that often, by the way. I don't.
I'm so, that just lifts my heart so much.
Yeah, I don't say it often. But you're both good, kind, loving people, and you both love and respect each other. but he's learning to respect himself, and he's not feeling respected in the dynamic. So, right? And I don't blame him. Like, he's been clear.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I'd like
been
at
very
least for us
clear
to have the chance for me to notice if it's enough for me or not. I'd like for us to be able to get back into it.
And so what needs to happen if you guys get back into it, if he's willing to do that and you both are, I want you to stay in your own body and stop trying to fix him. That's not your job. Stay in your own body. Be curious of your own emotions, but no more correcting, no more teaching. Not unless he asks you. If he asks you, that's very different, but it has to be a sincere ask. Stop trying to change him. And that's going to be hard for you. You're going to need to sit on your hands and whistle Dixie.
Okay. I can do it. I'm an educator and a coach all day long.
And that makes sense, right? And so then
not going to be like that.
Yeah. So I think people who do what they do in their job, they're not supposed to bring it home. I know that is my and luckily I love being a mom so much and a grandmother that I just want to play and have fun with everybody. Sometimes my kids want me to work for them, and I'm like, I do it, but I'm like, I just did this for hours at my job, and I don't really want to do it in my personal life. So that's how I want you to look at it. Like, you already have that outlet that's healthy and fun for you, but it's not supposed to be at home. Like, nope, okay?
I love it.
All right, okay. Keep us posted. Have a beautiful day.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
I appreciate it, Marie.
Sure,
Bye-bye.
yes, of course.
And that brings us over to our first break of the hour. And we'll be right back here on the Marie Manuchehri Show. We'll be more with your callers at 877-825-8828. And we'll be right back.
Great.
How can Marie Manuchehri help you create a better life? Check out her events page and attend a workshop. Working with Marie is a life-changing experience. If you want to find an effective way to make significant improvements in your life, sign up for a class today at energyintuitive.com.
It's time that you are heard, and I don't mean in just a conversation. I mean really heard. Imagine hosting your very own radio program on Alternative Talk 1150. Talk about being heard. Call 425-653-1150 right now to learn how affordable it can be to host your own radio show. Time slots are going fast, so take hold of this chance by dialing 425-653-1150. Alternative Talk, we have an opportunity waiting just for you.
You saved my life. You held my hand when I was scared. You helped me say goodbye to my dad. You were an example for me. You gave me strength when I thought I had none left. I couldn't tell you then, but I want to say thank you, all of you, for everything. Thank you to the physicians, nurses, and others working in America's hospitals and health systems. A message from the American Hospital Association, American Medical Association, and American Nurses Association.
The Marie Manuchehri Show is streamed live over the internet. So if you have friends or family members living outside of the Seattle area, wanting answers to life's questions, encourage them to listen to the show and to call into the show to talk with Marie. If you are interested in receiving guidance on an issue in your life, call Marie locally at 425-373-5527 or toll free at 1-877-825-8828 for her insight into your situation.
Alternative Talk 1150. It's good for what ails you. This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Marie Manuchehri Show. We're live here in cloudy, but we're taking a little break from our 96-degree weather that we had for like 6 days in a row. I had so much fun running through sprinklers with the kids, screaming. I mean, it was really, really fun. And we have something fun coming up soon. It's not on the website yet, but I just wanted to let you know that Come Meet Your Spirit Guides will be a fabulous, fun eight-week course through which we will encounter your devoted guides. The class will kick off on February 6th. Please keep an eye on the online course tab of energyintuitive.com for more information, or write to the office to be added to the interest list. And this is going to be different than I do 12-week coaching programs where I only take 30 students at a time, which I will continue to do on various topics, and a new class that I'll talk about a little bit later. But this one's going to be open for more students. It'll be a lower price point, and I'm really, really, really excited to offer even more for more people so that they can learn to communicate between the worlds and into the spirit guide world. I'm very, very excited for that. Okay, thank you. Who do we have next?
Okay, we're going back over to the West Coast, and I was just kind of getting into what I was about to say there. I was always known, like, you know, the two coasts have competitions, like which one's really the better one? So the West Coast calls themselves the best coast, and I thought, oh, the East Coast doesn't really have one. Maybe they're the least coast. I mean, for those of us living on the West Coast, but I actually heard someone from the East Coast the other day say they're the right coast.
Ah,
so
the right coast. We've
we're
got
going
the best
from
coast
the right
and the right coast
to the best coast.
Okay.
Where Kelly is calling us from Portland, Oregon. Welcome to the show. You're live on the Marie Manuchehri Show.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Hi,
morning,
Marie.
Kelly. Yes, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Lovely, thank you. What can I do for you?
I finally left my corporate job.
Yes.
And I am starting to build a one-on-one kind of healing facilitation business.
Wow.
Which I'm super excited about.
Great.
And yes, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time articulating what it is that I do to be able to tell people what I do.
And we can't hear you that well. Are you far from the phone, or do you have a headset on? I'm not sure, but I mean, I understood you, but I just wanted you to know that it's kind of hard to hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, that's perfect.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So
do you need me to repeat that?
Maybe for our audience, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So just to make it quick, I left my corporate job recently, and I'm starting to build a one-on-one kind of healing facilitation business. But I'm having a hard time articulating what it is that I do.
Right. Well, that's because you don't completely understand it yet. And this is not a bad thing. So I hope that I never think I understand what I'm doing, because I want it to continue to grow and morph and change. And as soon as I think I've got it down packed, I think I'm going to be putting myself in like this very limited perception of my capabilities or what the universe would think would be in my highest good. So I want you to express it to the best of your ability right now, but be open to changing it, because you're going to have to change it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. I would recommend that you do some automatic writing on the topic so you can get your higher self to give you some language. Like the term energy intuitive, I could possibly be the original person who thought of that term, which my guides gave to me, only because the guy who built my original website was shocked that the URL was available. He goes, I'm sure that URL is not available. I'm like, okay, look. He goes, it's available. I'm like, yeah, because, yeah. At any rate, I think there's a lot of cool, fun things that you can learn about yourself through communicating with your higher self in the multisensory world. So do you participate in automatic writing?
I haven't done automatic writing.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah.
I think we have a class on the website. I'm not sure, but yep, we do. Jen tells me we do. There are other people that have like free YouTube videos. I think I might have something on my YouTube channel about it. But it's an important part of taking in energy, because as you know, as a healer, your job is to receive. And your consciousness just hasn't gotten to this part of fully understanding your magnificence, which is, of course, normal. You're a little afraid of your magnificence. You're not ready to go, I'm this and this and this and this. And so if you can do some automatic writing and the universe can show you the flow of where you are and maybe a little bit of where you're going, you're going to feel more confident about expressing that to other people.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I think the confidence aspect is also there, because there's been my experience, and then I'm like, people will just think I'm bananas if I actually ever tell them.
I hope that everybody thinks you're bananas. And I don't mean that as like a mean thing. I'm just like, when individuals align with their authentic self, they individualize. They don't look like other people. They don't smell like other people. They don't talk like other people. They're different. And so you're going to be different. You already are different, and you want to let that flag shine. I remember this one time someone came to my house when I don't see people in person. I see them only on Zoom now. Because it's easier for me and makes me happy. So that's why I switched to Zoom, thanks to the pandemic. I went, oh, I really like it this way. Okay, I'm never going back, to the chagrin of some of my clients, by the way. But this woman came to my house. She'd never been there before. And she was shocked that I was dressed kind of like Banana Republic's one of my favorite stores. So I dressed kind of work related. And she thought that there would be like these beads hanging down from the entry of the front door and that I'd be wearing a muumuu. And there'd be like some weird music in the background. That's what she thought was going to happen. So everyone has their own ideas of how people have their own perceptions. Don't get caught up in that. You let your freak flag shine, be your own unique person. Don't get caught up in what you think people are thinking. Most people don't really care about others at all we've noticed this really, since the pandemic, we've noticed like a huge problem throughout the world where a lot of people are not empathetic. And I think that Ainsley MacLeod has described many times, he's written books on souls and past lives and all of that, that 50% of the population approximately are young souls and 50% are old souls. And old souls care about other people. Young souls are learning to care about other people. That's what they're learning to do. And old souls are learning to care about themselves. So and the empathic people who care about others only wish everyone the best and send love to everyone and are kind to them. So you got to get out of that pattern of being concerned about what anyone thinks about you. That's a waste of time and energy. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense, but I'm definitely hearing that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. We wish you the best of luck. Do some automatic writing. I think you will be thrilled, ecstatic, and delighted with what comes across. You're going to be very happy.
Okay. Excellent.
All right.
Thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Marie. Thank you always.
Of course. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Our next caller calling into the Marie Manuchehri show is Brianna over in New Jersey. Welcome to the show, Brianna. You are live with Marie for your energy intuitive reading.
Hi, Brianna.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. Hi, Marie.
Of course. Where are you again? I'm sorry. I wasn't totally paying attention.
No worries. I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, great. So what can I do for you?
Yeah, so I'm having a bit of a difficult situation, and gosh, I just kind of need an outside perspective on how to feel. I'm sure you've already seen it, but I'm having some trust issues with my partner, and it's very recent. There are issues I really genuinely never thought we would ever have, and it was a little bit of me opening Pandora's box.
So about you speaking your truth, actually.
Yeah.
And
so, I want to be. We have a new son. He's 4.5 months old, and he's got the best ever. I don't know.
And aren't kids the best? For people who want kids, because not everybody wants kids, right? And I've had moments where I'm so jealous of all my friends who don't have children because they traveled the world and did so many cool things while I was breastfeeding and changing diapers and cooking, thousands of Middle Eastern dishes every single day and shopping in Middle Eastern markets. Of course, now I get to travel, so I'm happy. But yeah. So something happened and you guys had an honest conversation, right?
Yeah, I was honest. I was honest with how I felt. I was honest of, what happened. And I'd really like to move past it. But for me, I don't know if I can get past the way that I feel.
And this was something he did, right? This is something he did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have known unless I did something a little bad.
Well, you checked in. You know what I mean?
I did.
Right? Of course, nobody wants to. I wish I had actually checked my ex-husband's life a little bit more. I was definitely kind of a Pollyanna, which of course I love positive energy type of person. And, his second wife didn't do that. She actually did what she needed to do. And she, found out a bunch of things that were that she didn't want to experience in a marriage. And I don't think yours is quite that deceptive, but it borderlines it for you. It's a borderline thing. It's one of those things where you're like, I would never do that. So I actually think you're in a good place, because you need to have these conversations. You need to know each other better. I'm sorry you felt like you had to look at someone's phone or email or whatever it was, but I actually think that's you following your intuition. If roles were reversed, he would want to do the very same thing. He would, right? Right? So I don't think you did anything wrong. The problem is that you felt you had to. There's some sort of, dishonesty occurring in the relationship or potential for some problem down the road. And I think it's great that you're talking about it. And what's happening is that you're finding out a little bit more about who he is. And I don't think these are things that he's like purposely hiding from you. I just think that his integrity is slightly different than yours.
Yes.
Right?
That's exactly it.
Yeah. So I don't think that I don't see this nefarious person who's going out of his way to jeopardize your relationship. But I do see someone who has a different viewpoint about integrity, which is maybe a deal breaker for the marriage. I don't know. The good thing is that from your end, right? So you've started this conversation, which he needs to know what your boundaries are, because clearly you have different boundaries. You just do. Yeah. So I think you're in a good spot. I think you're going to learn a lot about each other. I don't think he wants this marriage to end. I don't believe that he wants that, at least not right now. I don't think either one of you do. But I think you're in a really important place. You're going to learn more about each other. He can find out what your expectations are. You can decide if you like what he agrees with or not. And then you can move forward together or move forward separately. So this is actually very good. Even though it doesn't feel good, it's important. Okay. How do you feel about that conversation?
I feel really great about it. I've been trying to follow my intuition more.
Yeah.
I know that it's very powerful, but I've been taught not to use it. So it's a new thing for me.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Stepping into my power. Thank you. Is there a way?
Maybe we need a what if question.
I have he can't really hear me when I'm emotional, when we speak emotionally. And I'm a very emotional person. So,
well, and you have a pass through. I mean, this is even though we're having a casual conversation, this is a very upsetting thing for you because you have a leak in your first chakra, you have a pass through in your second, your third, your fourth, because you were shocked. And you're very loyal, like me. I'm so loyal, almost to my detriment. I do things, I'm too generous, I'm too kind, I'm too loyal. And then it takes me a long time to go, I don't really want to do that. But so you're not happy at all. I mean, you're very upset about this, by the way. So
yes,
you are. So let's do a what if question. What if I easily embrace my power? What if I easily receive and feel loved and adored and cherished? I want you to be in those two types of energy because people who overcompromise for others are giving their power away to others. It's their own fault. That's what they're doing. They're not maintaining their own vibration or their own frequency. They're just, they want to make other people happy. And that's not a bad thing. But if it's not empowering you, then it's not in your best interest. And so the reason why the relationship feels so kind of weird to you right now is because he's used to you giving your energy to him. You have been giving your energy to him, and now you're like, wait a minute. I don't know if I want to give my energy over there. So I'm sorry this is happening, but this is really good. Really great. You're on the right track.
Thank you.
And be very loving to yourself through this process too, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Have a beautiful day.
Marie, you too. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, our next caller is from somewhere I was actually just not too long ago in Cambridge, Massachusetts, just a little bit west of Boston, but beautiful place.
Lovely.
And let's go ahead and welcome, we got Sharon calling from Cambridge, Massachusetts. You're live on the Marie Manuchehri Show.
Hi.
Hi, Sharon. How are you?
Okay. I had a question for you,
Sure.
which is that I don't know whether I should do this sacral nerve root surgery or not.
I mean, it doesn't sound good. I mean, when you say it, I'm like, literally my cheek muscles contracted. I'm like,
really, mine
ouch,
too.
right? So why do you want to do this surgery? I mean, I can think of a million.
Pouching of the sacral nerve root, which is, and it's filled with CSF fluid.
Oh, interesting.
And there are 2 doctors in the country that do the surgery, and they can see it on the MRI, as can I. But I have to make the decision, and I'm so stuck.
Do you have pain regarding this?
On and off. Like
Okay.
I have pain sometimes, and then other times it's low-level pain.
Because this would be the only reason why we're doing this surgery, right?
That would be the only
right.
reason to do that?
Right. I mean, that is the reason why you're doing it, right? Because of the pain, correct?
That would be the reason, but
Right.
also there's some bone erosion because they call it a cyst, but it's really an outpatching of the nerve.
Right.
And as it gets bigger, it erodes the bone, but it's kind of held its own for a while.
Right. So have you tried anything else holistically?
Everything.
Like what? Could you tell me what you've tried?
I've done acupuncture. I've done physical therapy. I meditate. I've done so many things, and it's and it used to feel much more painful.
Right,
than
I know,
it
because
does
it's
now,
not very
but-
painful from my perspective. I'm like, I don't know if I would go through such a deep procedure because it's so deep, right? It's so deep into the body.
yeah.
Have you tried any red light therapy?
No, I haven't. I don't even know what that is.
So, and I would ask your doctor about it because that it is an FDA approved when you buy devices that are FDA approved, but it's still something that they are studying about. So I would ask your doctor about it. Will the red light feed this, or it's actually worked for healing all the time, and that's what this nerve needs is healing. So what would it?
I know the nerves, like they never get smaller. Like once you have this outpatching,
Well,
it doesn't.
I would
get smaller.
never say never to anything.
Okay.
I've seen too many things reverse and go away, even in people who have terminal diseases, that I would
Okay.
never say that. So,
Okay, good.
and I love modern medicine. I'm not against it at all. I love it. I think it's amazing. I love that they can do this procedure for someone who's in intense pain. Thank goodness, right? Like, wow.
Right.
So what it is, it's a combination of non-infrared red light and red light. So it's non-infrared and then red light, which is a certain color. And let's say you would lay down and have the light away from you, or you would be standing up, and maybe it would be like, it depends on which device you use, how far they want you to stand close to the device, and maybe you stand in front of it for 10 minutes a day and you see how it works. There's also, I'm curious to know how cryotherapy would work, which is where you maybe stand in a freezing box for like 3 minutes, because these things stimulate the immune system, because that's what we really need to have happen is the immune system. I will tell you, and what I'm going to share right now is what we want to investigate if you decide to have the procedure, right? Which I'm not against the procedure. Like you're making this decision, but I'm like, we haven't really exhausted everything and you're not in excruciating pain. So I'm like,
right.
So this is about letting go.
Okay.
Which tells me you are someone who holds on. Would you say that's true?
I would say that's true. Yeah.
So this is your opportunity to learn how to let go. And I would use the what if question. What if I surrender and get out of the way? And not just about this. In fact, I don't want you to think about why you're asking that what if question. That's part of the magic of the what if questions is your job is not to overanalyze and process why you're speaking it or thinking it in your head. Your job is to allow your brain to have a different experience so that your energy can shift in your body and you can attract a solution. So what if I let go? What if I get out of the way would be something that I would start saying as you're contemplating your choice.
So you mean not just like let go of this decision making, but let go in the universe, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What if I surrender? And again, your brain's trying to understand it. Don't try to understand it. Just repeat, silently or out loud these words, but don't try to figure it out. That's holding on too. That's a holding on energy. When you're trying to figure things out, we're holding on. Okay? Okay. So I hope this has been helpful.
It has been. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And keep me posted. I want to know how it goes. Okay?
Okay. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day.
Okay. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
And, yes. And I just want to say, do we have to go to break? Is that what you're going to do, Nathan?
You can make your comment.
Okay.
Is it for our caller or just something on
No,
the side?
something else.
Okay.
Because I'm about to put a bunch of classes finally up on my website. And I have another one that's going to be coming up. It's called Healing Through Altered Perceptions. One of the things I do all the time in my energy work is I help people change the way they see things. And so, perception is everything from my perspective. So I'm hoping that You'll be able to join me for a brand new 12-week course. I only take 30 people into my 12-week course and learn how the power of prolific healing can occur when you witness all things through the lens of spiritual perception. That class will kick off on January 18th. So keep an eye on the online course tab of energyintuitive.com for more information, or write to the office to be added to the interest list. And that would be energyintuitive.com. Okay, Nathan.
All right,
it's
that's
all
going to
yours.
take us to a break where we have more messages coming your way. Stay right with us. We're coming back to the home stretch of the Marie Manuchehri Show. Still have a couple of time to maybe squeeze in one or two callers. So if you want to get in line and take that spot, our phone number is 425-373-5527. Or on the Marie Manuchehri line, we have 877-828-8828. We'll be right back here in just a couple minutes.
The Marie Manuchehri Show is streamed live over the internet. So if you have friends or family members living outside of the Seattle area, wanting answers to life's questions, encourage them to listen to the show and to call into the show to talk with Marie. If you are interested in receiving guidance on an issue in your life, call Marie locally at 425-373-5527 or toll free at 1-877-825-8828 for her insight into your situation.
A few years ago, Steve Faircow's lungs were failing.
I don't think I had more than a couple weeks to live.
That's when Steve received a lung transplant made possible by an organ donor. Now Steve can do things he never imagined, like climbing 94 floors to the top of a skyscraper.
I never knew that breathing could feel this good. It's an incredible gift.
What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Have something important to say? Want to help improve our world? Need to promote your business uniquely and effectively? KKNW is the answer. Our staff helps broadcasters and podcasters create professional sounding audio. Bring your talent and let our experts help you craft a radio show or podcast that best delivers your message. Learn more at 1150kknw.com. That's 1150kknw.com. KKNW, talk variety that's live and local.
How can Marie Manuchehri help you create a better life? Check out her events page and attend a workshop. Working with Marie is a life-changing experience. If you want to find an effective way to make significant improvements in your life, sign up for a class today at energyintuitive.com.
Make it a great day. Keep your dial on Alternative Talk 1150.
And welcome back to the Marie Manuchehri Show. We're live here in Seattle, taking calls from around the country, helping people with all kinds of issues, from relationships to their health and their careers and anything else. I have been trained by all of my clients over the last, 2.5 decades to answer any question. They trained me because sometimes psychics will stay in a vein. They'll work in one area of psychic ability, like mediumship or energy healing. But my clients, for whatever reason, didn't look at me that way, which forced me to change the way I look at myself. And so I've been answering questions on every topic you could possibly imagine for a very long time, and it brings me great joy.
All right. We've been taking calls from the best coast all the way to the east, the right coast.
Yeah.
And now we're going somewhere in the middle, and we need a positive word for people who live somewhere in the middle of the United States, like central, something that gets the flow going.
Well,
so
you know what I love about the Midwest? People are so nice. Now, I don't know if they would really invite you over for dinner, because I know we're kind of passive aggressive here on the West Coast, by the way. But people are so nice, because I'm one of those people. I smile at everyone. I say hi to people. Not everybody returns the greeting, which is fine with me. The dogs always do. The dogs always smile back. But maybe something like that, like where all the nice people are. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and see what's going on over with Kelly in Gillette, Wyoming. Welcome to the show, Kelly. You're live with Marie.
Hi, Kelly.
Thank you. And you guys made me smile by telling me I was nice. So
you're welcome. What can I do for you?
So I'm getting ready to do the LEAP procedure on my cervix. I actually went into the doctor to have it done, where they just numbed you and you were awake. Anyway, I had a bad experience. I had a lot of pain. Now I'm getting ready to go back and they're going to put me under, but I'm really scared.
So you're doing this sleep procedure because the cells on your cervix are looking uncomfortable, dysplasia, right?
Yep.
So you haven't been diagnosed with cervical cancer yet. You've been diagnosed with dysplasia, correct?
Yeah, and I think there's like a number 2, like
right.
something 2.
Right. So they grade it.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So they grade it differently. And I haven't worked in the hospital in quite a while, so I don't know all the more modern grading, but, it starts with 1 or probably 0. I think 0 is actually in there now, which is interesting. Did you ever see a naturopath regarding it? Because, people can have dysplasia and use herbs and suppositories that feed the cervix to bring it to normal. Did you ever try that?
I have not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in our area,
there's no licensed naturopaths, right? Which just, not every state licenses their naturopaths, because that's what I did actually 30 years ago. I had dysplasia over 30 years ago, and they wanted to do first a biopsy and then probably the loop or loop procedure, whatever it's called. But I went to my naturopath and it took about 6 months, but she used suppositories and the dysplasia disappeared. So, interesting, right? So maybe you can just look around your area and see, unless you just want to get this over with, right? Because again, I don't care how people choose to heal their body. That's up to them, right? Like you can go to the medical doctor and they can take a piece of a little, section of your cervix out and you're done, right? Right. You can do it that way. Or you could, choose to try the holistic route so that we can send some nurturing herbs and vitamins to that part of your body.
I think I would love to go to the naturopath. I just don't feel like I'm going to have the
opportunity. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So
if I just get it over with.
Yeah. So are they going to put you out for this procedure now since you had a hard time, or what are they going to do?
Yeah. So they're going to put me out.
Great.
But I already know what I experienced on the pain level. Like,
oh yeah, but you're not going to feel anything when they put you out. You're not going to feel anything or hardly any. You might be sore afterwards. So hopefully they'll give you some, some pain medication, or ask them what you can do post-operatively. And it sounds like they're doing everything they can to take care of you so that you can get through this procedure well. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm go ahead. I just want to say I'm celebrating your decision because, again, I respect the choices that people make. Absolutely. And I'd rather have people take care of something than not take care of something, right? Like, hello, let's do something about this. Sometimes I have to say that to some of my clients. Like, what do you mean you haven't seen a doctor in a decade? I'm like, let's go see a doctor. So I'm going to send you a ton of light, and I want you to, here's your what if question. What if the universe, angels and spirit guides surround me and care for me every moment of my life, and especially right now?
That would be great.
Wouldn't that be great? And then you can feel cuddled and cared for and loved. And, I'm just grateful you're taking care of this. Thank you so much, because you're keeping your body healthy. That's beautiful. And I will be all of us will be sending you beautiful energy for your procedure. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just have one more thing. My blood pressure's been kind of...
Well, yeah. I mean, you're scared. You've got a little bit of white... Yeah. Well, you've got a little bit of white coat syndrome, right? So you don't like the doctors anyway. I mean, I'm not saying you don't like them as a person. You do. But you don't like going to the doctors. It's not your favorite thing. My blood pressure goes up a little bit because I'm excited. I can't wait to go. I'm like, oh, what's happening? What's going to happen? I want to see that blood draw. Can I please see I'd like to see my test results. I like to see, like, someday, because I did the Cologuard, but someday I'm going to do a colonoscopy. I can't wait to see the pictures. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. So what I would suggest that you do is, after you're done and you're healed and all of that, then either go to some pharmacy and have your blood pressure checked, at different times, maybe 3 days during a week, or if you know someone who has a blood pressure cuff, ask them if you can borrow it and you can check it when you're not there.
Okay.
For like a week to 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I'm on medicine for that. It just, for some reason.
Well, yeah, you're scared. You're terrified. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling in. And again, we'll be sending you light for your procedure.
Okay.
Okay. All righty. Bye-bye.
All right, let's go ahead and see who we got coming up next. And looks like we have Jules calling in from San Francisco. Welcome to the show, Jules. You are now live with Marie on the Marie Manuchehri Show.
Hi, Jules.
Hi. How are you?
Fine, thank you. So is it overcast right now in San Francisco, or is the sun shining?
It is overcast.
Is it always like
it'll
that?
Probably burn off.
Oh, it will burn off. Okay.
That marine air.
Yeah, because I have never been to San Francisco when it wasn't overcast, ever.
Yeah.
You know?
When we moved here, it's like you have to have your tank top and your polar fleece and everything.
Just like here in Seattle. Like you have to have your raincoat, your windbreaker, different shoes, and a tank top. Okay, great. So what can I do for you?
Well, I seem to have momentum in a lot of areas of my life, but my relationship with my husband is like a puzzle to me.
Okay.
And so I'm calling in the big guns. You?
Well, I actually like that phrase. I like being called the big guns. That's very sweet. Thank you. That made me very happy. Oh, and I've never even held a gun, so like I don't know why it makes me happy, but
the muscle.
Right, the muscle. Okay, I'm on the muscle. So when I drew out your energy, something interesting happened, which this is like in the 1% that something like this happens. I drew out the front of your third eye, which was kind of narrow, and then I didn't fill in grid lines, and then I made a bigger one on top of it, and then I drew out the grid lines. So you have a smaller, thinner third eye encased in a larger extension of your sixth chakra. So that tells me that, first of all, you are very intuitive, but you like to not see things for what they are. You like to kind of hide your intuition. You don't want to know. It's kind of a thing until all of a sudden you can't ignore it. You know what I mean? So, okay. So we need to stop that. Here's your what if question. What if I allow myself to see in the intensity and in the depth that I'm fully capable of experiencing, no matter what? I want you to start using that what if question so you don't get surprised down the road. You know, and as an intuitive who sometimes doesn't feel her own feelings, I hate that when I'm like, dang it, I didn't even see that happening. What the heck? You know, not that we have to know everything. Like it's fun to be surprised as well. So I would call it an interesting relationship. And I call it interesting because I feel like the two of you just don't gel. I see you in life together. I see you working together, almost like not paying attention, but working together. It's kind of like if you're in a kitchen and there were two chefs in there and one's making sandwiches and one's making soup. They're working, but they're really not, and they're in the same space, but they're not really collaborating. That's how I kind of feel you guys are. Does that make sense?
That's actually happened before when we've had company over. I'm like, I'm making this, and he's like, well, I was going to make this.
So, but I don't see anything horrible here. But you know, you don't have to leave you don't have to wait till something horrible happens to not be in your marriage. You guys just don't see the world exactly the same way. Can you be happy with that? Can you enjoy that? Do you need a partner who sees life the way you do? Like, what do you want?
Yeah, I feel like I've outgrown him a little bit.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love him. Like when I picture him as a little boy and our relationship, you know, I met him when I was 20.
Aww.
I love him as a being.
Yeah.
And I love our kids. And probably the only thing that stopped me from moving on is I look at my little 10-year-old and he's just got like butterflies around his head. And I'm like, how could I ever see you part-time, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like this puzzle where there's definite impact to kind of splitting. But I feel what's best for me to grow, for my intuition to grow and my healing arts business is to move on.
So here's what I want you to do. Have a conversation with your husband. Let's start talking about this because maybe the two of you are going to come to some agreement, like when the kids are older, or what can we do to just start talking about it. Start having a conversation about it. And notice that's what you don't want to do. That's that part of hiding your third eye, you know, like you already have some feelings, but the person you sleep next to every single day, you're not telling them about it.
Well, I tell them everything, but I think that we don't
not directly. You kind of do it around, like you're on the merry-go-round. He's on the outside running. You're whispering or you're yelling little things, but he doesn't know the whole story. You're not telling him from your own personal feelings what you just told me.
Yeah. What I mostly talk about is I just don't feel loved, you know.
And what does he say when you say that?
like this is all I have to give. This is
but
who I
that's
am.
really good information. So then do you say, okay, well, that may not be enough for me. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
So you have said that.
Yeah, we've decided to split up a couple of times, and we just didn't do it.
Okay. So maybe it's been a while before you've had this since you've had this conversation. Maybe it's time to start it again. And don't worry, kids pick, and Nathan's giving me the 1 minute mark, so I've got to hurry here. Kids pick their parents before they incarnate. They know if they're going to stay in a marriage or not long before they come into a body. So try not to protect your children. They might like it. I don't know. They might enjoy it. It might be refreshing for them. But don't worry. Souls are powerful, intelligent, courageous creatures, and they know what they're doing. We don't have to protect them. Okay?
Okay.
And I don't think you're quite ready for a split. Like, I don't see it immediately, just so you know. Like, okay, I have to go. Nathan's giving me the all the sounds. So thank you, everyone, for listening to the show. Thank you for calling in. And we wish you a very beautiful and bright day. And most importantly, that you fall madly in love with yourself. Bye-bye for now.